This beautiful Singapore skyline featuring iconic landmarks has become a familiar sight. Speaking of District 10 in Singapore, many of us would relate to prime residential homes, the belt of excellence block. How do you define luxury homes? What separates a luxury home from a high-end condominium in a prime district? Hi everyone, how are you doing? Hi everyone, how are you doing? Hello. Former Pearl Bank apartments behind me. The latest revelation of the Draft Master Plan 3. Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? This is PK So from Huttons, coming to you live from SingaporeProperty.tv. I just can't imagine that just a couple of days back, I just met some of you online, live, about 2 days ago in my previous fireside chat. And today we are meeting again. And you know what? Today we are now marching on to the middle of the week. So how have you guys been? All right, I'm looking at the screen right now. I see quite a number of friends streaming in already. Thank you very much once again for coming on time to the live show, to this Singapore Property TV Fireside Chat. All right, now for those of you who are new to this program, my name is PK So again from Huttons. I'm doing this Fireside Chat because I just want to make use of this opportunity, to invite guests from the real estate industry as well as related fields to share their expertise, their experience, as well as making use of this time when some of us have a little bit more time at home, going through the videos and whatnot. We are able to learn a lot more from these experts. All right. So in fact, this has been probably the fourth or fifth show already. And I'm really glad that, we are getting more and more friends and audience coming online to watch some of our programs and, of course, to benefit from the information that we share all this while. All right, this is a bilingual program, so sometimes we'll have it in English, sometimes we'll have it in Mandarin. In fact, I remember the first session that we had, it was a Mandarin session. We discussed about human behavior during times of crisis. It was a Mandarin program. I remember the guest spoke extensively on this topic. Speaking of crisis, well, you and I, we know that this is definitely affecting many businesses, many services as well. In Singapore, we call it the circuit breaker. And real estate, of course, is similarly affected. Show flats are closed. There's no physical interaction with our clients. So basically, we are receiving inquiries basically online through our phones, just taking care of these inquiries remotely. Well, speaking about all this crisis, ladies and gentlemen, I always believe in life that, if we can't control things that is beyond our means, our control, then, don't dwell too much over it. Do you agree with me? All right. So, I recall in our first fireside chat, we actually mentioned this in Chinese. All right. 如果你成不了心态的主人，那你就会沦为情绪的奴隶。So effectively, it means that if you can't master your mindset, you will end up being a slave to your emotions. All right, don't you agree, ladies and gentlemen? If you're able to hear or see me, please drop a few comments so that hi, Peggy. How are you? Good to see you here. Thank you very much for supporting. We have Annie as well. Hey, we have Patrick. Always see you here, man. Thank you very much for coming over and watching us live. All right. So, yeah, so I was saying that, we got to control our emotions, don't always look, I always expand our mind, by looking at the brighter side of things, so that, Because if we don't do that, sometimes it really costs us opportunities that we could have grabbed it. Okay. So, well, speaking of that, unknown to many people outside our real estate industry, there are actually still deals happening consistently in different projects, despite all the constraints. You know, every time when I receive a WhatsApp notification, this project has this deal closed, I was like, what? What's happening? Why are deals still being closed despite the fact that show flats are closed? Nobody's willing, there's no physical interactions. Why are deals still being transacted? All right. So, and actually, among all these transactions, Jadescape has seen a steady flow of transactions even during this pandemic. Okay, and this actually leads us to our next question that we got to ask ourselves. Okay, so why? What's so special about Jadescape that continues to draw interest from buyers? So we thought about that, and essentially, there are 5 vital factors. Okay, namely location, connectivity, convenience, education, and nature. Right, these 5 factors coexist together harmoniously with one another. All right. So, and this is, by the way, is very unique to Jadescape because of the mature estate that is built on. It's actually built on the site of previous Shunfu Vale that existed since the 1980s. And you know what? The amenities around there actually took about 40 years, all right, to evolve based on the needs of residents and the larger township planning that throughout so many years of master plans. Okay, so effectively, you know what? We have the opportunity to parachute into an area that has been meticulously planned over the years, and in fact are still anticipating more infrastructure development nearby. Okay, there's just so much to talk about Jadescape that we have allocated at the entire session here tonight to dive in and share more insights with you. And I'm glad that I'm able to invite my guest tonight, Christopher Tay from Huttons. He's the project IC for Jadescape, to explain in details on the potential of Jadescape and how, why we are seeing a constant stream of buying interest. Okay, so let me just introduce you to Christopher Tay. All right, Christopher joined real estate in 2011, and he has been specializing in project marketing. He has been involved in numerous project launches over the years as both an agent, a group leader, as well as project IC. And he is also a division director in Huttons, leading a team of agents in the real estate business. Okay, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time when if you are live, if you are, meeting face to face, we actually put our hands together and welcome Christopher Tay. Let me bring it up. Hey, Christopher.
Hey, BK.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, everybody.
How have you been?
Adjusting to life.
Adjusting to life in this COVID-19
Days,
period, right?
I've actually been busier than before the circuit breaker.
I can imagine that you are always available online. And I see you conducting so many trainings and briefings all this while.
Yep,
Yeah.
life goes on.
That's fantastic. All right. Well, Jadescape. I know. You are the expert in Jadescape. You live, breathe Jadescape. So I thought this you are the perfect person, my friend here, to introduce many of us here online to this amazing development. And I know you have tons of information to share tonight, so I wouldn't want to take up too much of our audience time. I want to dive straight in and probably ask you some questions. Then along the way, share with us what you have, and then we may have a little bit of chit chat about some of our thoughts. And hopefully, throughout this whole session, you are able to bring value to our friends who are watching live online right now. Okay?
Sure.
So
We'll do what we can.
Right. Awesome. Now, Jadescape, as we all know, has attracted a lot of buyers' interest, especially in the RCR area. Right, and I know that it has continued to see transaction, as I mentioned just now, even in this circuit breaker period. In fact, I think it has outperformed many projects when we consider the 5 vital strengths that I just mentioned just now. Location, connectivity, convenience, education, and nature. These 5 vital points. All right. So I was wondering, if you're able to share with us more insights based on these 5 perspectives, and I'm also curious, what are the profiles of buyers who are snapping up the units over here at Jadescape?
Sure. I will share with you the demographics as well as some basic statistics that I've compiled. And I'll actually walk you guys through the site plan as well as facilities and why Jadescape itself stands out among the rest of the projects, especially in the RCR, rest of Central region.
Okay, awesome.
All right. Okay, let me just pull up my slides.
Okay, let me just put it up right there. Okay, everybody can see that right now.
Okay, the first slide that you see here is actually the facade of Jadescape. This is actually an artist's impression of how Jadescape will look like upon completion, which is actually happening very soon. As we speak, if you pass by right now, you probably see that it's already hitting the 20th floor of construction.
Okay.
Okay, quick overview of the Jadescape sales to date. Okay, I'm actually very heartened to say that we are among the top 10 best-selling projects for the month of March 2020. This is actually by no means an easy feat. Reason being, we were actually impacted by the onset of COVID-19, the outbreak of COVID-19 in February, and Jadescape has actually stood tall. Jadescape is actually only ranked behind Ola, which is actually an EC, so it's the best performing non-EC project in March 2020, despite the outbreak. One thing to note, among the 10 projects here, we are actually looking at only 3 from the RCR area, rest of Central region, and Jadescape itself is the best-selling among them, the other 2 being Park Esta as well as Sterling Residences. So just in March alone, if you go down into the numbers, we actually sold 76 units in Jadescape alone. And that is actually out of a total of cumulative 740 units, which actually makes up more than 10%. Considering that it was actually during the month of COVID-19, it is definitely a very notable and very extraordinary achievement that we have done. In fact, most of the agents, we are actually surprised by how good the volume is ourselves. Okay, looking closer at the numbers, I would like to point out that for Jadescape, we can take a look at the median price over here. The median price is at 1719. At 1719, I'll need you guys to pay attention to this figure as I walk you through the rest of the other slides. Okay, over here, I have the developer sales data. This actually goes way back to the time when Jadescape was first launched in September 2018. What is interesting to note is that if you were to note the median price here right in the center has not changed much, i.e. to say Jadescape itself, the developer, has maintained the median price at below 1,750 PSF per square foot basis. Even until today, the average price at Jadescape is only at about slightly above 1,007, which makes it really attractive. And if you look at the second chart that I have below, which shows the take-up rate, you can actually see, apart from September 2018, Jadescape has actually been doing very consistently, gradually building up until the end of last year, November 19. Key reason for that is the developer actually announced that Jadescape is way ahead of its expected TOP date. In other words, we are actually expecting buyers to get their keys sometime by end of next year. And this is actually not affected by the current COVID situation, which is why we've actually been looking at volumes holding firm for the months of December, January, February, and March. And Jadescape has consistently ranked among the top selling projects month by month.
Amazing.
Okay, let's take a look at the buyer's profile. So coming to the
Christopher,
Yes.
just before we go into that, I just want to flash a slide here,
Okay.
which is important. The disclaimer slide. All right. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's
we
important,
forgot
right?
about that. Huh?
Okay,
Yeah.
this slide applies to everything that you see in this video from beginning to the end. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for taking note of this. Okay, let's go.
Okay, coming to buyer's profile. Okay, what we have actually compiled here is a summary of all the buyers that we have seen purchasing a unit in Jadescape. Now, for PDPA reasons, we will not be sharing the exact demographics, but we actually can say we have a good mix of owner, occupiers, and investors. They are in the ratio of approximately 70 to 30%. And owner occupiers being the majority, they are actually comprising of first-time buyers. We are looking at singles and young couples. And most of them actually live around the estate, meaning in District 20 or surrounding districts in the area. They are all looking to buy somewhere that is near town, near to their parents, and also near to amenities, which I will touch on shortly. HDB upgraders also form a sizable group. They are primarily the families with young children living nearby in the HDB flats. And just for your information, HDB flats in District 20 can actually hit the 1 million mark, which we have actually seen a couple of times in Bishan alone. Last of all, we actually have investors. Investors are also buying into the location because they see the upside potential. Because we have a lot of things still going, and that's despite the fact that even when it's a mature estate in District 20, we still have a lot of amenities, infrastructure that's being built, and currently as we speak, they are going to be ready by end of next year. If you look at the nationalities of buyers, I would say that majority of them are primarily Singaporeans and PRs, with only a handful. I'll put it down to about 15% coming from overseas. And these are the foreign buyers, which are also buying despite ABSD. So ABSD is not a deterrent in this case. To understand why, let's take a look at the locational attributes, which PK has rightly pointed out at the beginning. For Jadescape itself, we are actually located in District 20. The exact site is at this arrow over here, if you guys can see my pointer. So this triangular plot of land used to be Shunfu View. The developer, which is Qingjian Realty, actually unblocked it successfully way back in 2017 and converted it to Jadescape today. This plot of land itself is not a small plot of land. We're actually looking at something bigger than 398,000 square feet. So with such a big piece of land, we are going to see the formation of Jadescape and in its immediate vicinity, what we are looking at. Now, before we go on to talk about that, let me just give you a bit of background information on District 20. For District 20, it actually comprises of Ang Mo Kio, Bishan, as well as Upper Thomson. Ang Mo Kio and Bishan needs no introduction, but for Upper Thomson itself, unless a lot of us here are actually into landed houses, we probably do not venture that far. Upper Thomson itself has actually been predominantly made up of landed houses. You have your semi-Ds, you have your terrace houses. In the good old days, we used to call them the old rich. So buyers coming from Upper Thomson, they are the better heeled, well-heeled people, demographic, and they're actually looking to buy back into the Thomson area. In District 20, being a mature estate as well, there is actually a limited supply, i.e. to say there's actually no more government land sales in District 20. It's so heavily built up that the only way that developers can get hold of a piece of land, for example, Jadescape, is to unblock existing condos or even HUDC estates. Now, coming to the amenities, the first thing that comes to mind would be the MRT station. MRT station for Jadescape, we not only have one MRT, but we have the luxury of having two MRT stations, both within walking distance. Let me take you through the first MRT station. The first one is actually just a 200 meters walk from the side gate of Jadescape to Marymount MRT on the Circle Line. For Marymount MRT, it is really just one stop away to Bishan, where it is the north-south line, and that gets you all the way to town, Orchard, Raffles Place. Now, on the other side, we actually have another upcoming MRT station. Upper Thomson MRT station will be ready by end of 2021, which happens to coincide with the TOP date as well for Jadescape. So once the Upper Thomson MRT line is open, it is actually stage 2 of the Thomson East Coast line. Residents will then enjoy seamless travel all the way towards the eastern part of Singapore, East Coast, or even towards town. Goes all the way to town as well. What I need to highlight is for Upper Thomson MRT is actually one stop away from Bright Hill. Bright Hill MRT station has also been planned as an interchange station to the future Cross Island line. So in terms of connectivity, you can't actually ask for much more because 2 MRT stations with 2 interchanges just one stop away. However, if you are not commuting, if you are driving, I'm also happy to say that we are actually well connected. Being in the RCR area, rest of central area, we are actually well served by expressways. The main expressways, namely CTE, which is on the right side here, CTE on my right, it cuts all the way to town. We are also served by PIE below, and we have a future north-south corridor all the way up here. Now, what is the north-south corridor? Just a bit of background, the north-south corridor itself is actually built to run alongside Central Expressway, and it helps to serve residents staying in the northern part of Singapore, helping to actually shave off some traveling time due to the bottleneck on CTEs during peak hours, as well as to save some ERP charges. So what we see for north-south corridor that's going to happen is for residents staying all the way up in Woodlands, Sembawang, Yishun, all the way down, they can actually travel along this road. And once it hits Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1, there will actually be an underground tunnel. Tunneling works are actually going on right now. The underground tunnel will actually take them all the way to United Square, which is right smack between Novena and Newton MRT station. So they will effectively bypass the whole stretch of Marymount Road as well as Thomson Road, where we actually see a very heavy flow in the morning. Now, connectivity covered, let's move on to the convenience that PK mentioned. In a mature district like District 20, Jadescape has no shortage of amenities. In fact, right at its doorstep, just across the road, we have Shun Fu Mart here. Shun Fu Mart itself is actually a hawker center come wet market. And wet markets, as we all know, they are actually a rarity in today's context. You don't get wet markets in new estates anymore. So to have a wet market and a hawker center just across the road is really a convenience that a lot of residents cannot ask for. However, if you want something that is more local flavored, something that you crave for, you can actually take a short stroll down towards Upper Thomson Road. The whole stretch of Upper Thomson Road is actually flanked by 2 rows of shop houses. The shop houses consist of your coffee joints, your cafes, your eateries, and also your pubs. In fact, it is actually a very lively area if you go at night. And it also is home to a lot of local eateries. We have your famous prata, you have your bak chor mee, you have your prawn noodles, your chicken rice. They are all along that stretch.
I'm getting hungry already.
Getting hungry, yeah. I hope everyone has taken their dinner. Okay. The good thing is you don't even have to be exposed to the elements of the weather. It is a fully sheltered walkway all the way from the side gate out towards Shun Fu Mart, and actually you can just walk along Shun Fu Road, hit Upper Thomson Road. Fully sheltered all the way. So rain or shine, you can still enjoy your local favorites. Not a problem. However, if you are looking for more air-conditioned comfort in today's weather, you can actually move to Junction 8, which is actually just 1 MRT stop away. Junction 8, where you actually have a host of amenities as well. But along Upper Thomson Road itself, there's actually Thomson Plaza. Thomson Plaza will also have a Fair Price Finest outlet there. If you are feeling more adventurous, it is really just a stone's throw away down to town. You can actually get to Novena, you can get to Ang Mo Kio Hub, which is further up, 1 stop up, or you can actually go down to Novena, where you have your United Square, you have your Velocity, and all shopping malls in the area. Coming to educational institutions, District 20 needs no introduction in this regard. Okay, the reason why I say that is because for Jadescape, we're actually within 1 kilometer vicinity of Catholic High Primary School. Catholic High Primary School is most notable for its famous alumni, being our Prime Minister himself, who graduated from Catholic High Primary School. So it is within 1 kilometer radius. In fact, a lot of buyers are buying it just for this reason alone. Buyers may ask me if they have daughters but not sons. How? How do I get around the problem? So to counter that, we actually have another top primary school in the area. Ai Tong Primary School to the left of Catholic High. Ai Tong here is just shy of 1 kilometer. It's actually within 2 kilometer radius of Jadescape, as well as Marymount Convent. Marymount Convent is an all-girls school, so not to worry. If you have boys, you have girls, no problem. Now, primary schools aside, let's take a look at secondary schools. Secondary schools, most notably in Bishan area, we actually have the Raffles campus, where we have RI over there. RI is here, and RGS has most recently also relocated over there, the secondary school branch, as well as RJC. So if you're looking for a brand name education, prestige, international baccalaureate, this is the option for you. Hey, the whole Raffles campus. In fact, Catholic High has a secondary school as well, next to the primary school. So that is another option. The other thing that we have on this side in Bishan neighborhood is that we have a host of brand name top neighborhood schools, most notably Kuo Chuan Presbyterian. I'm not sure if you all can see my mouse. Kuo Chuan Presbyterian, both the primary and secondary school, as well as Guangyang Primary and Secondary School over here. Both of these are actually brand name neighborhood schools as well, and it's really not easy to get in.
And it's a good point that you mentioned about education, Chris, because, through all the years of serving clients, I know of parents, Singapore parents are really, really particular about locations near to schools, be it secondary schools or primary schools. And, traditionally, I know that a lot of parents would want to get into some, to be near the top schools in Bukit Timah. The whole stretch of schools right there, right? But the fact is that over here, because of the congregations of schools, in fact, pretty good schools, I would say, from what you mentioned, you have a choice, you have an alternative compared to spending so much more, buying a home along Bukit Timah in District 10. All right. So this is really makes perfect sense for homeowners who wants a place with convenience, with connectivity, with a lot of infrastructure that's still ongoing, plus education, a big aspect right there. And I think it's a good point that you mentioned.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, we actually have a newly opened JC as well, junior college right up here, which is just behind the Ang Mo Kio Bishan Park. JC just opened its doors and to welcome its first batch of students. And it's actually made the headlines as being the most densely built JC. It has 6 stories high in the school itself.
Yeah, I think that one was currently in Mount Sinai or something. It just shifted over to Bishan, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Yeah, it just moved over. Yep. Now, moving on, this is actually a topic that is very close to my heart, nature. I am a guy who actually likes to go running, go hiking. So for Jadescape itself, residents are actually spoiled for choice because MacRitchie Reservoir is literally just next door. It is really a 10 to 12 minute stroll away from the side gate here. And then you will get to MacRitchie Reservoir Park. Just for your information, MacRitchie Reservoir is actually the oldest reservoir in Singapore. It has been around for decades. And the reservoir park itself has many nature trails as well as a treetop walk, which a lot of us can actually spend hours going through. And it's really a pretty good workout. PK, have you been there?
Pass by. One of the reasons why I've got very fair skin, especially my legs, is because I don't spend a lot of time outdoors. That's a problem.
I
But
see.
you got a good point though. A lot of outdoors greenery, I like that. But
Yeah,
not the
but you
exercise
should
aspect
really
of it
try.
though.
Correct, because the whole uh, expanse of MacRitchie Reservoir itself is not just along North Lornie Road or Upper Thomson. It actually goes all the way smack to the other side, to the western part of Singapore, ending at Upper Bukit Timah Dairy Farm Road area. So that is how big the whole MacRitchie Reservoir Park is.
Indeed.
Hmm. Yep. So this sort of sums up the locational attributes that I have for Jadescape. But before I move on, I will actually have to share a bit on why the developer chose to actually buy into Jadescape itself. Okay, the developer for Jadescape Qingjian, they actually want to actually create a masterpiece in this area, District 20. Firstly, as I mentioned, there is a shortage of condominiums, especially full facilities condominium in the area, and they actually see vast potential in this area as well. Because as what I mentioned, the MRT tracks, the north-south corridor, they are still work in progress, and the developer actually buys into the same vision to grow this area as it develops. Now, moving on, I will share some of the development features. Firstly, let's look at why Jadescape is called Jadescape. Okay, Jadescape itself in Chinese is actually called 顺福轩, after the road name, Shunfu Road. They use the name jade because jade is a precious material and it symbolizes luxury and prestige. Known for its green varieties, it has varied lush greenery and hints at the elegant grandeur. Developer has actually opted not to use green or emerald in this case. Now, how about scape? Scape, on the other hand, will actually describe the overall setting and also the nature-inspired offerings of the property. Combining both together is a bit like landscape. The name Jadescape will actually denote the extensiveness of the greenery, which is in the development, and visualizes the property as one that is rich in concept value as well as nature. Who's the architect, by the way? Let's take a look. He is none other than the award-winning architect Paul Noritaka Tange of Tange Associates. For him, he actually drew inspiration from the nearby MacRitchie Reservoir to actually create Jadescape itself. It's an interplay of water, greenery, and space for the development. So as you can see from the picture over here, if you can visualize, it's actually modeled after the shape of MacRitchie Reservoir Park. Okay, for those who can't, let's take a closer look at the site plan. All of you can see this, PK?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Looking at the site plan, here we can see that Jadescape is made up of 7 towers. We have 7 blocks here. They are all of 21 to 23 stories high. Okay, the main entrance here will actually be off Shunfu Road. Okay, one thing that I need to highlight for Jadescape, you can actually check out the block-to-block distances. They are all marked out over here. All blocks are very well spaced apart. We do not have a block that is less than 30 meters away. The smallest distance that I have is 32 meters up here between block 8 and block 6. So they are all very well spaced. You have that privacy. Okay, instead of having your neighbors looking into a unit, you have maximum privacy. So the main entrance coming in over here will take you to the drop-off area. At the drop-off area, you'll actually be greeted by 6 shops. There'll be 6 retail shops in the development, 3 on the left, 3 on the right. Okay, the shops are actually zoned for services like your mini marts, you have your hair salon, you have your laundrette, and you have your pedicure, manicure. It is not meant for F&B or sit-ins restaurants. After that, there's actually an entrance, okay, a driveway down to the car park over here. The car park is actually 2 levels of basement car park. One thing that I need to highlight over here, for Jadescape itself, I have a total of 1,206 units. It may sound like a mouthful, but you have to bear in mind we are actually next to 2 MRT stations within walking distance. The good thing is I have a 1:1 car park ratio. So every single unit in this development is entitled to have 1 parking lot. Isn't that amazing, PK? You seldom get 1:1 ratio these days.
Indeed, especially for a big development like this, sometimes you do run short of parking lots, but this is very generous of the developer to allocate 1:1 for the residents down here.
Yes, indeed. So let's take a look at the facilities. Okay, I will go from the right. For Jadescape, there are actually two side gates. If you are walking to the MRT station, this will actually be the side gate that you come out of. Once you walk out from this side gate, turn right, cross the intersection here, you'll get to Marymount MRT in no time. Strictly speaking, it's 2 minutes. Yeah, and it's a leisurely walk. You don't have to run. Literally can roll to the MRT station. Now, facilities at this side gate area, we actually have two sunken tennis courts. The reason why I mentioned two sunken tennis courts is a lot of condo projects these days, they may not even come with one tennis court. So to have two tennis courts is indeed a luxury. There's also an outdoor fitness station right outside of it, as well as a barbecue pit, two barbecue pits right on top. Moving further in, over here, okay, if you can follow my arrow, we actually come to the centerpiece of the whole development. For Jadescape itself, this is actually the leisure pool. The leisure pool, as you can see, is actually a Z shape, but it is 20 meters wide and 50 meters long. And right at the center of the project here is a two-story clubhouse. The gym itself on the second floor, as well as a lounge. Function rooms are actually located at the site, which actually enjoy pool view as well. For such a large development, the developer has actually made two swimming pools. For those of you who are into competitive swimming, I have an Olympic-sized swimming pool right up here. This is a 50-meter Olympic-sized swimming pool, and you can actually do your laps over here with no nuisance from children. The kids' pool is actually located right at the bottom of the leisure pool below here. Now, at the Olympic-sized swimming pool, there's also a second gym just at the site of the swimming pool itself, where you actually can do your workouts, your treadmills just by the side of the pool as well. Now, we have a secondary exit over here. This is actually a vehicular exit from the basement of the car park. This exit here will only be open once the north-south corridor is operational, and that will be sometime in 2021 as well. So once the north-south corridor is operational, drivers will have the option to exit from here, travel along Marymount Road, make a U-turn and join the underground tunnel to town. So that is how convenient it is. Now at the top here, top right corner, you probably see another side gate. This side gate will actually take you to a bus stop along Marymount Road. This bus stop has all the long haul distances, the trunk services that will take commuters to the western part of Singapore like Bukit Timah, Clementi, Jurong East. At the top of the development, what you see here, Jalan Pintau Playground, okay, this actually belongs to the landed estate behind. What you see over here behind the Thomson Garden Estate, these are all your landed housing. They are 3.5 stories high. And you can see from the orientation, all units in Jadescape are north-south oriented. So if you are facing north and you're overlooking the estate, high floor units will actually enjoy unblocked view. And what kind of view are they looking at? Okay, if you look at the view A over here, it will be a view towards MacRitchie Reservoir.
Speaking of that, I happened to chance upon a photograph in Straits Times that I thought of showing everyone here.
Sure.
All right. This is the old Shunfu Vale, looking towards the landed estates beside it. All right. So I thought it's amazing view. I mean, if you look at what we have here, the landscaping, the low-rise landed estates just right beside us, it doesn't feel like you're in Singapore, ladies and gentlemen. Right. So I thought it is very, very nice since Christopher spoke about that one. Yep.
Yep. Okay, come. Am I back to the screen? Do I need
Yes,
to
you
share?
are.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So talking about this view is definitely overlooking all the way to MacRitchie. And to top it off, the developer actually made two sky terraces. The sky terrace that you see here is found on block 10 and 12 on the 13th floor. The sky terraces is actually meant to give all residents, be it whether they are having the north-facing or south-facing, a chance to actually go up there to enjoy the view of MacRitchie Reservoir, perhaps see the setting sun, have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine. So there'll actually be seating areas, so you can actually chill out there with your friends. Okay, coming to this part, the setback of 25 meters away from the landed estate here, the developer has also kindly allocated this space to 3 pavilions along this site. I will have to highlight that each pavilion can actually accommodate 50 packs, up to 50 packs for your own gathering social events. And they are actually made up of both indoor and outdoor seating. So it's like an island by itself, an island getaway by itself, very private, very secluded area. So you actually can actually have your own gatherings, your birthday parties, your housewarmings all over there. Moving on to this site here, okay, there's actually a ramp leading to the landed estate, which we can't really make out from here. But what I need to highlight is for this pedestrian side gate, it takes you out just facing the Shunfu Market, Shunfu Mart, as well as the hawker center just across the road. There's actually a golf simulator as well here, right here, smack at the corner. For residents who like to give their putting skills a shot, they can actually go there to practice their putts. For Jadescape itself, on the left, you can actually see the legend. We have close to 100 facilities. Now, due to time constraint, I will actually not walk you guys through the whole list of it, okay, but I will have actually touched on the more salient ones. We also have a wellness lounge. A wellness lounge is actually in the center over here. It comes with spa facilities, steam baths, a massage bed as well. Right. For residents who are facing south, we are looking at views B and C. What will they be looking at? For residents who are facing south, they too will actually enjoy unblocked view. Why do I say that? Because for Shunfu itself, if you are familiar with the estate, they only have about 10 blocks of HDB flats just across the road. And the HDB flats are only about 10 to 11 stories high. So for residents who have high floors, who are on the high floors, 9th floor and above, they actually get overlooked the HDB flats, and then they are actually looking all the way down to Thompson Road, Novena, Newton area. And for residents who are actually facing Marymount Road itself is a 6-lane dual carriageway. So in other words, it has a very long stretch of unblocked view towards town. Right. Now, to actually show you, to illustrate further what I meant by the facilities, I actually have some artist impression in the next slide. Well, they all say a picture speaks 1,000 words. So I'll let the pictures do the talking over here. Firstly, on the left here, we have a forest trail. This forest trail actually runs through the entire estate of Jadescape, the whole development itself. So you actually can take a leisurely walk across the whole development, enjoying the greenery, enjoying the water bodies. Now, talking about water bodies, what is actually very unique to Jadescape is that all the water features as well as the swimming pools, they are all connected, be it above ground or below ground. So the developer has actually engaged the services of Joey Yap, which is actually a well-known geomancer, to actually look into the feng shui of this whole area. So this whole area has this water feature that runs through the whole development across all the blocks as well. Moving on, at the right side here, we actually have the barbecue pits. These 2 barbecue pits are the ones located at the back of the development. And these are the greener ones. They are actually the electrical grills, not the conventional charcoal ones. What is most interesting is this third picture that I have over here. This, like I mentioned, is actually the centerpiece of Jadescape. So we actually have a 2-story clubhouse overlooking the leisure pool with function rooms at the site. Below that, we have the kids' pool. The kids' pool, as I mentioned, is actually sunken below ground. Why is it sunken below ground? For those of you who can actually see, there's actually a drop here. For Jadescape itself, we are actually on a terrain that is actually sloping upwards. So in other words, different blocks, they actually have different levels, different highest floors. We have 21 to 23 floors high. Next picture I have here is of the reading lounge. You can see that it's very tastefully decked out with marble flooring as well as shelves. This is going to be the exact state of the lounge once upon completion. Now, the last picture I have here is of the viewing deck. This is the Sky Terrace. So as I mentioned, you can actually have an unblocked view. It's going to be a panoramic view towards MacRitchie Reservoir proper. And you can actually have your afternoon tea or your evening glass of wine over there. It makes a very good place for you to actually enjoy the sunset. Right. So what are the units that I have in Jadescape? So this is actually the unit mix of the entire development. Just a quick run through. I have 1 bedrooms to 5 bedrooms as well as penthouses. But as I mentioned at the start of my presentation, units are selling fast and we're actually seeing brisk sales to date even during the COVID period. So what are the units that are fast selling? For Jadescape, we are almost 65% sold to date. So we are actually almost 800 units sold out of 1,206. I'm actually down to the last unit of 2-bedroom classic. My 2-bedroom premium and 3-bedroom classics are fully sold. I have the last 6 units of 3-bedroom deluxe, 9 units of 3-bedroom premium, and also the last 10 units of 5-bedroom suite. What exactly makes Jadescape units so attractive to buyers? Apart from the location, apart from what I've shared with you, the facilities, let's take a closer look at the unit types. Okay, before I actually take you through a virtual tour of the sales gallery as well as 2 of the show suites. PK, you want to share something before I take them through?
Sure. I was looking at the chart that you showed just now. I think one of the charts, I can't really see clearly in my screen right here, but I think there's some maintenance fee that you mentioned right there as well.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. But the thing about this is this. Christopher was mentioning the vast array of facilities that are available over at Jadescape. Since when, have we seen more than 100 facilities in one condominium project like this? And ladies and gentlemen, bear in mind, if this were to be a normal plot, like maybe 40,000 square feet, 60,000 square feet, chances are you wouldn't be able to enjoy that much facilities. And facilities are actually important in our lifestyle, because can you imagine cooking up in the home like what we are experiencing through right now without even stepping out of the house? So that's why the facilities is so important, but not just to our families, but also for our guests who come visit us. All right. And it is only in a big development like this that you get to enjoy a vast land space of close to 400,000 square feet, 398,000, I think, more than that. And because of that, you have the ability to have so many facilities, spread throughout the entire project itself. All right. So this is the advantage of living in a mega development like this. You have wide array of facilities, at the same time a big space, land space. Plus, at the same time, because there are more families sharing the cost of all these facilities. That's why it keeps the maintenance fee low and affordable. All right. So it basically brings the best of both worlds. Do you agree with me, Christopher?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah, maybe I'll just elaborate a bit on that. Okay, for the maintenance fees, as mentioned by PK, you have to bear in mind that it actually comes with 1 car park lot, which is actually a luxury considered that we are within walking distance to 2 MRT stations. In fact, a lot of the newer developments that's going to hit the market this year or even next year, they do not come with a 1-to-1 parking ratio. And to have so many facilities yet charging such a low maintenance fees is not something that you will find in a lot of places. And to top it off, I would like to just stress that for 1,206 units, it's not considered very claustrophobic because the land size itself is 398,000, more than 398,000 square feet. We are actually seeing a lot of smaller land sizes squeezing in a lot more units, like 1,004, 1,005 units at one time. So this is really a lot of space. Now, to illustrate that further, I will have to take you guys through the sales gallery.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Yes.
Okay, I'll just remove your slides from the screen right now.
Okay.
Okay, well, Christopher is bringing up the virtual tours. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for coming on live. For those who have just joined us, you are the fireside chat of SingaporeProperty.tv. My name is PK. So together with me here today is my guest, Christopher Tay from Huttons, explaining to us in depth about Jadescape, one of the most amazing developments in RCR that has been consistently selling well, even during this COVID-19 pandemic period. All right. So are we ready to bring our guests, our friends to the virtual tours, you think?
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
For those who are watching us, give me a like. If you're on Facebook, give me a like. If you're on YouTube, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Singapore Property TV.
All
Or
right.
feel free to share. Okay, that's great.
Yep.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
all
All right.
flowing.
So
Okay, right. Let's head into the sales gallery. Right. The developer has actually done up a very nice video of the sales gallery. Okay, and it's actually like what you see. You get to see a three-dimensional view. So even right now during the COVID circuit breaker period, we actually can get a sense of how the model looks like. Okay, I'll start off with the main entrance. This is actually the main entrance of Jadescape itself. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, right. So the main entrance here. Okay, just a little bit of fun fact. For this development, Jadescape, it happens to coincide with the developer Qingjian's 10th year anniversary in Singapore. So this is actually the first fully smart home enabled private condominium that is solely developed by Qingjian. So as we go into the show suites, I will share with you what are the smart home gadgets that the developer has kindly provided for each and every single unit. Okay, right now, let's take a look at the model. So as I mentioned earlier, using the site plan, this is where you come in. So you can actually see that it's a very majestic entrance. So the drop-off itself, there's actually a concierge at the drop-off area. And then there are 6 shops, as I said, 3 shops on the left, 3 shops on the right. They are all your retail shops. To my right over here, this is actually the driveway to the basement car park. So there are 2 levels of basement car park and it's a 1-to-1 parking ratio. So let's move on. Okay, coming to the site here, you can actually see this is the site gate, okay, where I'm pointing, the site gate that takes you to the MRT station. So if you come out from here, take a right, you will cross the road, the intersection here, and you'll reach the MRT station in no time. We are looking at Marymount MRT station on the Circle Line, which is really just one stop to Bishan Interchange. So the tennis courts that you see, they are actually sunken below ground, 2 of them, is to minimize noise disruption. Then over here, this is actually the leisure pool together with the clubhouse. Okay, yep, you can see here. So the leisure pool itself and the clubhouse. Okay, the clubhouse looks a bit small, but it's a 2-story clubhouse. Okay, you have a fully equipped gym and you have a reading room next to it, a lounge. Children's pool is sunken below ground here. And so from this angle, ladies and gentlemen, you can actually see the terrain that Jadescape is sitting on. It is actually sloping upwards. And this is actually the highest point. So we're right at the center portion of it right now. And this would be the exit for vehicles coming out from the basement, the egress that will eventually take you to join the north-south corridor. So the Olympic-sized swimming pool on the right here, and also a second gym right next to it. Now, moving to the side gate over here, can all of you see the bus stop? This bus stop is along Marymount Road, and as I mentioned earlier, it has trunk services going to the western part of Singapore. Now, heading to the back of the development, okay, the green patches that you see, they are not your empty plots of land. In fact, this is where the playground currently is, as well as all the landed houses, okay, the Thomson Estate. So for high floor units here, they are directly facing north and they have an unblocked view over the landed houses. And what kind of views are they looking at? They'll be looking towards MacRitchie Reservoir. So that said, you can actually see from here, these are the 2 prime blocks. Okay, block 10 and block 12. They come with the sky terraces on the 13th floor. And for block 10 and block 12, they house primarily the bigger size units that are available in Jadescape. We have the 5 bedrooms here, 4 bedrooms as well, and some of the 3 bedrooms in this text. Okay, looking below here, these are the 3 pavilions which I highlighted earlier. we actually have these pavilions which are standalone pavilions. You can't really see, but they're all standalone pavilions. And you actually can accommodate guests with both indoor and outdoor seating. Okay, moving further down, this is the wellness lounge, which I actually mentioned. You have your spa inside and the steam bath with massage beds outside. You can actually engage your own masseuse, or you can actually give each other a massage over there. Okay, coming to this end of the development, this is the side gate. Okay, just behind this bus stop is where the side gate is. Now, this bus stop has a feeder bus service 410 that takes you all the way to Bishan Interchange, where you have the bus interchange and the MRT station. The covered walkway that you see here is already in place. In fact, residents can just take a slow stroll along here, cross the road where I'm pointing. This will actually be the wet market cum hawker center. And if you want to venture further down, you can just walk all the way down. You'll hit Upper Thomson Road, where you actually get all your good food, your eateries, as well as Thomson Plaza, and also the upcoming Upper Thomson MRT station. Okay, to give you guys a perspective of the area, this is the map that I went through. Okay, and also here, the developer has actually kindly put up a map showing how the various MRT lines will actually crisscross in this area. PK, can you see the map? Is it enlarged?
It's bigger right now.
Okay. I'm not sure if you guys can follow me, but the location of Jadescape is really right smack in the center of Singapore. This is the Singapore map, just for your information. So what the developer has kindly done is actually to juxtapose the north-south line together with the circle line as well as the cross-island line to show the connectivity, the seamless connectivity that residents enjoy going to various parts of Singapore, various parts of town for that matter. So no matter where you're heading, be it the north, south, east, west of Singapore, you're actually almost equidistant away. Regardless of whether you're commuting or you're driving, this is how accessible Jadescape is. Okay.
I'm amazed with the showroom, Christopher.
Yes, yeah.
This is amazing. Okay. You look at the sheer size of it.
I assure you, once you go to the actual sales gallery, it will easily take 1.5 to 2 hours to finish walking through the whole show flat. I have not even showed you how big and extensive the show suites are.
Yeah, we should take a look at those, I think. Yeah.
Yes, okay, just before we go, this is actually how the clubhouse is looking like, okay, because we can't really see. So this is actually the picture of the clubhouse proper. Okay, now let's take a look at the show suites. Okay, so coming through the door, you actually see the sales gallery of Jadescape. This is how deep the sales gallery is. And in case you are thinking that this is a single story sales gallery, on the right here, there's a staircase going to the second floor, and there's actually an elevator further down for you to take the lift up. Okay, the size of this show flat itself is humongous, and it's actually constructed at the cost of $6 million.
Amazing.
All right, so I will not take you all guys through. I will just jump straight into the one-bedroom show suite here. For the one-bedroom show suite in Jadescape, okay, as I shared with you guys earlier, for Jadescape, size is never a problem. It is not a concern. Our one-bedroom sizes are 527 square feet, and it is by far the biggest on the market today for new launches. Let's take a look at how 527 really looks like. Okay, now as we enter, this will actually be the main door entrance coming in. So just to share with you some of the smart home features that the developer has thrown in, we're actually looking at a video intercom over here. Most of us here are probably more acquainted with a voice intercom, be it your phone or a button, you talk to the person. But video intercom is something that's very new because for Jadescape, all the common lift lobbies are equipped with webcams. So they can actually see who exactly is coming, ringing your buzzer, coming into your unit. The other thing that I need to highlight here are the switches. The switches that Jadescape is providing, they are not the typical switches. They're actually from the brand Legrand. Legrand is actually a high-end brand used in hotels, soft touch switches. And as you walk in, you will see a linear kitchen. This is how extensive the kitchen itself is. Okay, what you're looking at over here, cabinets, both top and bottom cabinets, fully provided. We are also even looking at a dishwasher. The developer is kindly providing a dishwasher as well as a water purifier for each and every single unit in Jadescape, even for the one bedrooms. So for one bedrooms, it comes with an induction cooker, hob and hood, a built-in oven. Okay, there's actually an integrated fridge behind and as well as a freezer below. All appliances are by SMAC, an Italian brand. Looking at the living room proper, PK, you want to guess what material the flooring is?
I know the answer. It looks like marble.
Okay, flooring wise looks like marble. It's actually marble look-alike porcelain tiles. Okay, so the developer is giving very high-end tiles as well. Just check out the ceiling height. Okay, maybe I'll take a step back and have a better view of the ceiling height over here. Ceiling height here is a good 2.9 meters high. So it is higher than most condos on the market, which is about 2.7 to 2.8. But the thing that I need to highlight over here is this dining table. How many one-bedroom units are there in the market that can actually accommodate a 4-seater dining table right smack in the center of the unit? This is actually something that you do not find anywhere else. So they actually have space for a 4-seater dining table. And also inside here, it is such a wide area, close to a 3-meter wall-to-wall distance for the living room. And this thing here, I definitely need to highlight. If you need more space, you can actually consider putting something like this. This is actually a pull-down bed. So if you need more space, you can actually convert this into a bed, pull down, and then have a divider. You can have a partition over here. So it makes, you can convert a one-bedder into a 2-bedroom. Now coming out here, we have the balcony. As you all can see, the balcony size is only just a little over 2 tiles. So it's a very small balcony and has this. This is actually the pre-approved balcony screening. That's not provided by the developer. It will be at buyer's own cost. But this balcony screening will actually provide you 2 purposes. One is actually privacy. It actually goes around the whole balcony. Second thing, it actually gives you enough sunscreen. Okay, you can actually block out the sun. Not that you have a lot because it's all north-south facing. Now, looking at the bedrooms. Ladies and gentlemen, let's check out the bedroom size. This is a king-size bed that you're actually looking at. The king-size bed itself can even accommodate 2 side tables, one on the left, one on the right. And this is a king-size bed. And you even have space on this side here to actually put a TV console. So space is definitely not a problem. And checking out the wardrobe here is a full height wardrobe. So there's actually no wasted space. Layout wise is all regular. Even for the bathrooms, okay, you can check out the bathroom finishes. Okay, the mirror is provided behind which is actually a cabinet. So the bathroom comes with 2 doors. So you can take a step back. Okay, the bathroom actually comes with 2 doors. In the event that you have guests, you can actually close up this door, close up your master bedroom, and actually close up this door, and your guests can actually access the bathroom from here. So this sums up the 1-bedroom. 1-bedroom, 527 square feet. Check out the space that you have. PK, anything to add before we move on to the 4-bedroom?
Yes, we are moving on to the 4 bedrooms later on, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, we have been to the show flats several times with buyers, and the common feedback among all buyers that we brought there, and even among agents ourselves, is that we are very impressed with the size, the functionality, the layout is very efficient, as you can see, and the size of the rooms are just jaw-dropping, because these days, how often do you step into a show flat these days? And immediately you're so impressed with the size of the rooms. In fact, for this, you are able to put a king-size bed in a 1-bedroom apartment, all right, not very common. You're able to do that in several other projects elsewhere. I think this is just amazing.
Right. Now, before we move on to the 4-bedroom, I just like to point out to all of you that there is currently an ongoing promotion for the 1-bedroom units. The developer has actually kindly put up 29 units of 1-bedroom for a special promotion during this circuit breaker period. We're actually throwing in an $8,000 discount for high floor 1-bedroom units. To find out more, please feel free to approach any of our Hutton salesperson. Now let's move on to the 4-bedroom. Okay, the 4-bedroom that I'll be sharing with you is actually the 4-bedroom deluxe. Okay, this is actually the mid-size 4-bedroom that I have. Okay, there is actually a smaller 4-bedroom over here, a 1,259, and a bigger size 4-bedroom unit that comes with private lift. But for this one, it's 1,421 square feet. Let's take a look. Okay, let's start off with the main entrance. This is where you come in. So again, some of the smart home features that I need to highlight, the door set that you are looking at, it is not just a biometric door set. You can actually remotely open it using Qingjian's proprietary condominium app, which is downloadable into both iPhones and Android. So you actually, with the touch of a button, you can actually remotely open the door. And not only that, all the heaters and air conditioner units in the units can also be remotely operated using the app. Okay, so coming in from here, you actually have this space, which you can actually do up a full height shoe cabinet if you want to. And you have this walkway. Okay, now check out the size of the living room. Okay, you can actually fit in a 6-seater dining table, no problem. And the ceiling height of 2.9 actually allows you to even hang chandeliers down for your dining table. The width of the living room here is definitely very luxurious. You actually get more than 3 meters over here. Okay, let's take a look at the kitchen. We have both a wet and dry kitchen. For the dry kitchen over here, you have a 2-door fridge, built-in oven. Coming into the wet kitchen on this side, you actually have a WC as well as a utility room. The utility room itself, a concept that you might want to explore, a drop-down bed for your helper if you have one. Otherwise, you can actually use this for storage. And it comes with a window outside here. So you actually can use this space as a laundry area. This whole area here, you can actually use it for laundry. You can actually do a pull-down awning or an extendable awning out through the window. Now, looking at the kitchen itself, it is a fully equipped kitchen. Let's take a step back. You can imagine, you can actually enjoy how big the kitchen is. It's an L-shaped kitchen. It will be on a gas cooker hob and hood because it's an enclosed kitchen for 3 bedrooms and above. The developer is actually giving gas, and this is actually town gas directly piped in. Likewise, it comes with a dishwasher as well as a water purifier provided by the developer. Now, check out the flooring. Flooring-wise, for the 4-bedroom unit, this is actually natural marble, full marble flooring. In fact, for 3 bedrooms and above, the developer is giving a full marble flooring for all units. Let's take a look at the rooms. Let's go straight into the master bedroom. Okay, the first thing that hits me at the master bedroom is this on the left. You have a walk-in wardrobe. Nowadays, not many units can afford the luxury of a walk-in wardrobe. So you have a walk-in wardrobe, and that frees up space. Frees up space for your bedroom. So you actually can fit in a full-length dressing table on the side here, and complete with 2 side tables. And this, if you have a massage chair, you can actually fit it at where the sofa is here. There's space for a massage chair. That is how wide this channel is. Okay, you actually put in a TV console and a massage chair. Right, flooring for the bedroom, we are looking at engineered timber flooring for all the bedrooms. Okay. Moving to the common rooms. This is actually one of the common rooms for Jadescape. You can actually see You can fit in a single bed with a study table. Definitely no problem at all. For Jadescape, most of the common rooms are actually 10 square meters. 10 square meters is considered big, very big in fact by today's standards. So a king size bed definitely can fit comfortably in, and it's a full height wardrobe, and you have space for side tables, for your study table. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Okay, this is actually the other room. Okay. Sorry for that. Okay. Yep, okay. All right. Okay, you can check out, this is actually a mirror image of the other room. So you can actually see a queen size bed is able to fit in with no issues at all. In fact, if you want to, you can actually fit in side tables as well, and even have a ledge on this side. Right. Okay. Now let's take a look at the last bedroom here. Okay, this bedroom is slightly smaller, it's marginally smaller. It has been converted into a study room. Let's take a look. Okay, and it's also linked to the balcony. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let me take you through. So this room itself is slightly smaller. It's 9 square meters, but being 9 square meters, it can still fit in a decent queen size bed. No problems at all. And you can see from here, it is directly linked to the balcony outside. So for residents staying in this room, you can actually enjoy the view from this angle, which is directly connected to the living and dining. So if you check out the view for the living room as well as for the bedrooms, you can see that for Jadescape, unit sizes are no problem, which is why actually that's so popular with owner occupiers, by people buying for own stay. Because nowhere in Singapore can you actually find a new launch project that can afford you such sizes as well as such landscaping and facility space. So this is all I have for you. Okay, but this is not all there is to offer at the sales gallery. In fact, if you want, I can actually share with you more once the sales gallery is open. We actually have a 5-bedroom show suite that is just opposite as well. So we have a total of 5 show suites in the sales gallery. And once that's open, feel free to approach any of our salesperson for a more in-depth discussion or for a look around. PK, over to you.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for sharing with us the virtual tours, Christopher. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're still staying with us. Something may have interest you. We have a wide array of sizes for you. Some of the layouts are selling pretty fast, as what Christopher has just mentioned earlier. We still have the bigger ones. If even the 5 bedrooms are selling very fast, we only have 10 of them. If I can remember correctly, we have only 10 left.
Yes.
The 5 bidders. All right. So and that is about 2,000 square feet, if I'm not wrong, right?
Correct. Yes, the 5
Yes.
bedrooms are 2,099 square feet. So we only have
Two-
last 10 minutes left. Yeah.
Exactly. More than 2,000 square feet, ladies and gentlemen, 5 bedrooms. Not many projects have 5 bidders available for sale. All right. So if you have a bigger family, or you just want that extra room for study or home office, or maybe for just allocate one room to each of your kids or something, or even for your guests or your parents, this is a good choice. All right. And with all the amenities, the facilities that Christopher just mentioned, I thought this is a fantastic option for many of the buyers out there who are looking for bigger apartments, newer ones to move in at a very good location. Jadescape is definitely one of them. All right. So what we'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen. I know you have been spending time with us. Thank you very much for staying throughout with us. We have a fly-through video for Jadescape. Okay, and it basically gives you a complete visualization of the entire project, the fly-through of the facilities, the blocks and everything, the surroundings. So I'm going to play that, and I'm going to end this presentation by playing that. Okay, so before we go, once again, thank you very much, Christopher, for coming on live today. All right, despite a busy schedule, really appreciate that. I hope I have more chances with you to present more to our audience on some of the thoughts and options that you always have been sharing with me. Okay, so for the friends that are staying on with us, once again, thank you very much for staying throughout. I really appreciate your time to watch us live. And feel free to like my channel at singaporeproperty.tv, or feel free to visit my website singaporepropertyprices.com.sg to have a complete visualization of the entire real estate market. All right, I'll be very much ready to get in touch with you for Jadescape. Christopher and I look forward to meeting you here at Jadescape as well, and serve you more and tell you more about this amazing project. All right, feel free to call me at 9697-1131. I repeat my number, 9697-1131. So with that, once again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Here, I would like to wish you good night and stay safe.
Be safe, everyone. Thanks for sharing.
Bye-bye.
Bye.